Hey guys, welcome back to Kent Car Media. Today we are working on the Mark II MX5 as promised. We will be removing the intake manifold and replacing it with a nice shiny one. Removing this, which unfortunately means we need to remove some other bits as well. Got to take the fuel rail out. We're going to have to take all of the throttle cable off, some other hoses, and obviously the intake pipe. And then hopefully then we should gain access to all the bolts and we should be able to pop this off the side. That's the throttle cable off. Probably wear gloves. Now these are going to be wiped on my jeans. Okay, we'll just fold that out the way somewhere. Hopefully down there. Now, before we touch the rail, we'll just release the pressure in the fuel tank. Just leave that loose. I didn't do this last time and fuel went everywhere. Safety first. We're just unplugging the injector adapter looms from the original plugs. Don't tell me to take the AN fittings I fitted the other day off because they're in the way. Now what I'm going to do is I have to remove the fuel lines from here. Obviously you've got a sender and a return, and I'm going to put cable tie around the hose and then one round the matching pipe, just so I don't get in the wrong way round. Back on fitment. On there. To that one. That's one. Ow! You okay, hun? Now they're disconnected, we can pull the rail off, but we need to just unbolt it from the manifold. So we've got two bolts, one down there, and the other one is that one there, if the camera will do its job. That one down there, and just be careful, there's a little space so it doesn't drop down, and don't want to lose that because I won't be able to put it back together. One spacer, I don't know if that's focusing, but that is the spacer. Don't want to lose those. Spacer. I just need to pop these clips open and get the loom off. Okay, so now the fuel rail should be able to be pulled out, but these hoses run sort of between some of the legs of the manifold, so it could be a little bit difficult, but we're just going to take the injectors out of everything else connected, so as long as these get pushed through. Might have to pull the injectors out, unfortunately. For about 15 quid's worth of fuel.
Yeah, that's V-power as well.
It is V-power, I'm losing all my V-power. And then this fella should just pull out. There's going to be...
Don't pull the cable tie off.
Right, one fuel rail. There are some coolant lines that obviously we need to drain. We don't need to drain all the coolant, but we need to drain it from the top half, probably, of the engine. Otherwise it could leak into the cylinders when we take the manifold off. So, plan is to, I don't know, just drain a bit from the blower hose of the rad, I guess. There's also one vacuum line here. You can sort of see it here, and it goes off to the solenoid down here. Right, let's pull that out. That hose off, drain a bit of the coolant out, and then put it back on. And then we will take the rest of the hoses off the throttle body. So we'll just take this coolant line off. We've got two supports, so we have obviously a row of bolts at the top here, and then there is one big bolt here, which mounts to an arm that goes down to the bottom of the engine. Now, I probably won't put the arm, I'll probably remove the arm completely, because what most people do, because it makes it easier to get to the oil filter. But, so we're going to take that bolt out of there. So, there are 5 bolts at the top. You can sort of see them on here, where sort of they are positioned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 along the bottom. And we can sort of gain access through these sort of gaps with an extension bar, is the plan.
Whether it works or not.
If not, the top ones you could probably access from the top, to be honest. Apart from that one there. They're a 12mm. Take them out one by one.
Don't drop them.
Try not to drop them. I mean, it might have come off with that, or I've broken something.
I don't
Yes!
think we're worried about snapping the bolt. I think we're worried about snapping the 7 extensions.
Gone from 3/8 to a quarter, baby. As I said earlier, it's not a bodge if it works, right?
Wait until he pulls this monstrosity out of there. Mechanics don't want you to know this simple trick.
I don't know what, look, that's a really expensive extension. That's a backhoe. They're a good brand. Look how loosey-goosey that is. Anyway, well, that worked, so we'll keep that there just in case we need it, but I'm hoping we won't. I'm going to take this bracing off because one of the bolts of the manifold essentially sits right behind it, so it's going to be impossible. Easier if I had eyes in my hands.
You currently look like you're birthing a cow. In up to the elbow.
That's it, that's the support. So that holds the intake to the rest of the engine as a, I don't know, brace. Stop it from cracking maybe. We're not going to use it because we are hardcore.
Easy access to the oil filter now. Things we'd love to see.
So we've got all the bottom ones out after removing the bracing. Again, if you've got another manifold, you can compare the sort of locations, but most of them are pretty much directly underneath these sort of channels. I've had to use a various amount of bodged up extensions to get to it. Once they're cracked, you can just easily spin them off anyway, but your hands are your eyes, right? So do the bottoms first, make life easier. At least at the top you can see what you're doing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take these 2 back ones off, and then we'll take the last stud off, and then it should, in theory, fall off.
In theory.
In theory.
Don't drop the bolt. Don't drop the...
Right, now in theory,
The last bolt should fall off.
everything is disconnected. So, let's come away.
Nice.
One manifold. So we're just going to repurpose some bits off here. I will buy a nice silicone blanket at some point, but not for this. But I don't have one to hand, so for now, we're going to transfer that onto a new one. Like so. It's alright, isn't it?
Yep.
Goes in there. Okay, I think that's everything on the new manifold. It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that now needs to go back on car. Like so.
That's the hard part done.
That's the easy part done. So what we've got here is you can see there's 3 studs. 1, 2, 3. Ollie, can you pull this out of the way?
Yep.
Thank you. Right, I'll also hold that there. That's the top one on loosely. Now we're going to have to do... So I've got to try and remember where they are now, because obviously I can't see anymore. So again, looking with my fingers. And that goes on there. One of these bad boys goes in there.
Ned Stark's bastard son.
In here. And then yeah, like that. So we should the vacuum line for the pressure regulator, go back on there. And then what we can do is plug all the injectors back into the loom. Done. And then, as Ollie pointed out to me a minute ago, we've got our line for our map sensor, which I run to this port on the front, which used to run to the EVAP. One goes there as well. The only thing now we need to do, I think, unless I've wildly forgotten anything, is secure my coolant hose down the bottom there, reinstall the radiator fan, and then fill the car with coolant. So let's get to it. Right, so as always, when you do these sort of jobs, things can go wrong, which you may not necessarily have seen in the video, but I probably pointed out at some point that I put the gasket on for this the wrong way around. Now, the problem with that is that the intake manifold actually acts as a blank for the coolant system. So even though all the ports line up, this hole and that side were flipped, which meant coolant pulled all the way out the bottom of the car onto the floor. Brilliant. So rectified that. The other problem I had whilst doing this is the injector top O-rings. One got pinched when putting it back to the rail, which caused quite a big fuel leak. So got some new genuine O-rings, and on the second time around what I did is I just put a little bit of silicone grease on the O-rings whilst fitting them to stop them from pinching, and that sorted it. And the car now runs, looks lovely,